We have with us Mr. Chen, CEO of Huawei India, speaking to ET Now. Mr. Chen, thank you so much for taking out the time. My first question to you is, the biggest thing that the Modi government is talking about right now is the Digital India program. It's a huge initiative by the government. How do you see this initiative working out going forward, and how do you see Huawei's role in Digital India?
Actually, we look very positive about the initiative Modi government puts, which is the Digital India, Smart City. We believe this really will drive India economic and social development in a very fast way and a positive way. From the Huawei side, actually we believe we can give a lot of the contribution based on our strength, which from our international experience and technology and solution innovation from the ICT background. For example, the Digital India first is about infra. I talk about the telecom infra, such as the FBB or the MBB. FBB we talk about the fixed line, and the MBB we talk about mobile broadband. You know, in India, in this part, actually have a lot of the space to improve. As per the World Bank, the survey, every 10% of the data penetration can bring 1.5% GDP more.
Right.
So this infra, if we can do much more, can really drive the India the
GDP going forward.
GDP growth,
Right.
and even the people's social work model change. So in this part, Huawei is very leading globally, and also we had almost 16 years experience in India. We know our customer. We have our understanding about the India industry.
Right.
We know how to contribute, how to give the contribution, give our the support.
Fair enough.
And beyond that, the smart city also is a very important part.
Right. We will talk about Smart City program in just a bit, but staying with Digital India, you mentioned that telecom infrastructure is the backbone for growth, not just for telephony, but also, of course, overall infrastructure and improving GDP. So, in your assessment, in the next maybe couple of quarters, maybe 12 to 18 months, how aggressively do you see Digital India program shaping up for the company and also, of course, for the sector as a whole?
Yes, currently I can see every year is very important for the telecom industry in India. Every year, or even you can see almost every 6 months, some change happen. Even I can see the big change. You know, last year we saw after the new spectrum auction and the new policy under M&A in the telecom industry, the confidence of the industry come back. Many investments was put for the telecom, the network deployment, such as the 4G deployment goes very fast.
Right.
And this year, we also look very positive. The new spectrum, even more new spectrum are planned by the government. And the merge and acquisition already on the track. Recently, many this kind of the event and the activity is undergoing. So we look very positive.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we were to talk about the telecom land space, a lot of 4G rollouts are expected to take place this year. Huawei, of course, is a leading player as far as 4G is concerned around the world. Help us understand, give us your perspective as to how soon do you see 4G becoming a very big chunk of mobile companies' overall business?
Yes, actually, after the first 4G network deployed by Huawei with the Airtel, currently 4G is speeding up, much speeding up. As per my personal forecast, by end of year 2016, most metro city and central city and towns can be covered by the 4G. So this will give a lot of the convenience to the our communication daily.
And how much of that do you see Huawei getting a share of this? Because if 4G rollouts will become very significant and you see that ramping up very significantly, how much of that do you think could come to Huawei?
Yeah. I'm not able to give you the exact number before this fiscal year end, but I can share with you Huawei is very active in the 4G domain. And why? The reason is Huawei currently take the very leading position in the technology and the solution innovation in 4G area. In the globally, let's talk about the globally, almost 45% more of the 4G network are deployed by the Huawei globally. So in India, we are very keen and we are very serious to play our role and to make the contribution in the 4G domain. And we are also very confident we can achieve that.
And you mentioned that merger and acquisition rules happened last year, spectrum auction that took place last year, and also a spectrum auction that will take place this year. It means a lot of focus on telecom, and also it means that telecom companies will be focusing that much on growth. Help us understand, sir, how does the landscape or overall area sector change when you have a player like Reliance Jio coming in, which is expected to focus largely on 4G?
Of course, the IGU put a lot of the investment in the 4G network deployment. We also look positive about that. We believe with the efforts put by IGU, the whole India, the 4G network deployments are driving forward hugely. So personally, I look positive about that.
Now let's come to the smart city program of the government. It's an area of huge focus for the Modi government as well, and also an area where Huawei has a lot of experience. Help us understand, sir, how significant could this be for the company, and is this an opportunity that you would look to tap very significantly going forward?
Yes, regarding the smart city, we believe it's another very important part of the digital India. And Huawei also very seriously considering this part, the business opportunity and the contribution Huawei can put to the India, the smart city development. Of course, at the beginning, we are very seriously and cooperate with some other partners and the government departments to understand exactly the requirement. This is the first thing we are doing now. And second, we are also thinking how to find the key cut through or cutting the points which we can easily to show our value. Currently, we believe our safe city solution could be one of the very good and the proper solution we can bring to India and suggest to the different central government or the local governments, state governments, because we already have the very good reference case in the Saudi and Kenya, even in the Bangkok. Our solution is very powerful and very effective. Yeah.
And how soon do you see that opportunity materializing for India and also for companies like Huawei? How soon do you see this opportunity materializing? Do you think it could take a couple of years, or maybe it could actually be sooner than that?
I don't think it's need so long time. I believe this part of the development also could be very fast, very fast. I think we should consider every 6 months the big progressing will be seen.
And since you must be, of course, speaking to state governments and also central governments as well, where do you see the smart city program, or actually scaling up from? Do you think it could be, which are the governments that you see would actually be most receptive to this program?
As per the contact we have with the many government departments, we think the acceptance could be wide. Optimism about that.
And apart from these two big areas that we've spoken about, the Digital India program, the Smart City initiative of the government, which are the other core areas that Huawei is working on in terms of building its presence in India?
Actually, Huawei's presence in India is from all the perspective, because at the very beginning we consider the India market is one of the most important global markets of the Huawei. So we not only put the sales here, we also put our R&D, our global network operation center, and we also put almost all the vertical function in India. Currently, our Huawei Bangalore R&D center is the biggest one, the R&D center out of the home base. And from the Bangalore R&D center, we provide the software, the development services to the global Huawei customers. And Huawei Bangalore Global Network Operation Center also provide the technical support and the network services for more than 40 countries' networks from India. So in India, we are not only the one single function the operation, it's the multi-function, almost all vertical functions operation in India.
And what according to you are the key strengths of Huawei in India, and the strengths that you would like to build on going forward?
Yes, I think this is a very good question. We also think how to build our core competence in India. From my personal understanding, and the first is the innovation, innovated the product and the solution. This is the first, of course. Currently, we are already on the very leading position in the ICT industry. The second is the global experience. In India, we can bring all the expertise from China, but also all the global markets if required, based on the business requirements. And the last one is the local platform, very strong the local resources platform. This platform is not only in the 1 or 2 cities in India, such as Delhi or Mumbai. It's almost 14 operation offices
across
in
the country.
India. Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned innovation as being very important. How important is innovation for Huawei in India, and help us understand with maybe an example as to how cutting edge is the kind of R&D that Huawei is doing here?
Yes, I think let's still go back to the 4G. In 4G domain, currently Huawei is one of the very leading technology and the innovation solution, the provider in the industry. As I mentioned, almost 45% of the commercial network are deployed by the Huawei. And even in terms of the IPR, we are also very leading in the industry.
Right.
All this new solution and the new product, we bring it to India.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So currently, I also can share my personal experience with you. Many the new feature and the new function also available in India at the same level with the advanced country market.
How important is India as a market for Huawei? Of course, let's talk outside of China. But outside of China, how important is India for Huawei?
I think this shouldn't be a question. India, which has a so huge market and also so huge the space to develop. Nobody can ignore Indian market
Right.
in the telecom industry.
Right. And if shifting gears to talk about smartphone as a segment, it's of course a very big segment for Huawei in China. But if we were to talk about India, it is the world's one of the fastest growing smartphone markets in the world, extremely competitive, very price sensitive. A, what are your views on the smartphone segment in India? And B, how aggressively will you tap this as an opportunity going forward?
Normally, people only perceive India the low price market for the smartphone, such as even the $5, $25 smartphone.
Right.
But in my perspective, Indian people paid more and more attention and focus to the quality, to the smartphone experience. Actually, it is matched with the international strengths, the strengths in the international market. The customer's experience is totally different.
And how big do you think this will be as a segment for you in India? Would you look to focus very aggressively on devices as a category?
Yes, we believe Indian market is very, very important for the business growth for everyone. So currently, everybody find more and more the foreign investor and the foreign the smartphone brand come to India.
Right.
And I believe if Huawei would like go to the further business growth, we have to pay huge attention to the devices business.
Right.
I think devices business could be occupied 30% or even 40% to the whole business revenue
In maybe
the
about
next 3 or 5 years.
in about 3 to 5 years. Before we move on, HR is an area that is again considered very important, especially for multinational companies. Is that an area of focus for your company as well? And also help us understand if there are any specific initiatives that the company is taking as far as HR is concerned.
Very simple. Very simple. India, first of all, India, the labor market or the human resources is the very, very high quality human resources. Actually, I had the many years global experience in the Asia Pacific. I am so impressed about the India, the human resources quality. And for Huawei India, the operation, the human resources strategy actually is very simple. If you let me share with you. First, care the people. Second, motivate the people. Last one, the people will contribute a lot.
That's a fairly simple strategy, yes. Before we wrap this up, Mr.
That's
Chen.
what actually is our understanding about the India, the resources, human resources.
Right. Okay. Before we wrap this up, Mr. Chen, your suggestion on the top 2 or 3 trends that we can expect in ICT going forward, maybe in a 12-month horizon, 15-month horizon, but the top 2-3 trends in ICT that you think will stand out?
I think let's talk about in this way. First point, in the next 12 months, what I can see, all the operators will still focus on the network deployment. 4G, of course, 3G as well. And I believe more and more operators also will put their focus on the fixed line. After that, I believe the operators will put more and more attention to the restructure of their network. More and more focus on the SDN and free, this kind of the technology. Because as per our global experience, telecom industry is facing transformation to the data time.
And one last question as far as technology is concerned. Technology is the backbone of the entire company, of your operations. And any key technology trend that you see that Huawei would focus on going forward, or that would stand out?
Okay, I think possible in this way. I'm not so sure you are talking about the 5G or whatever, but actually, currently in the industry, especially in this year's the Mobile Congress, more and more the vendors are talking about the 5G technology, the network innovation to the 5G. We are also believe by the 5G solution, the technology, the whole industry, and beyond the telecom industry, many industries will be changed, because before the 5G, we only talk about the voice data, but beyond the 5G, when we have the 5G the solution, the impact will come to telecom industry and beyond the telecom industry, the huge impact. And before the 5G arrive, what we should do? This is another very hot topic. Huawei is talking in this year's Mobile Congress. We believe before the 5G, which is around 2020, still have many things we can do, such as based on the existing 4G network, how to make the network more effective, such as the 4.5G, the solution, which will use existing spectrum and not so big the change on the capex investment, how to help the operator in this way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much for taking out the time. Thanks a lot for speaking to ET Now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.